This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Geeb Productions.
Welcome, everyone, to the Drip and Geeb podcast. I am your host, Drip Media Gaming. With me, as always, is my co-host, Uncle Geeb. We record this podcast live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also check it out on the podcast platform of your choice. I don't remember what else you say.
Merch. Oh, memberships. Go ahead. Memberships.
You can now become a member of this YouTube channel.
Yeah,
oh, man, I don't know.
Links?
You can. Link is somewhere. That's all I got.
And then the merch. You'll talk about our merch, Drip.
Oh, we have merch.
This is like when a parent is looking at their son or a child who just did something wrong, and you're just like, you're gonna go to apologize to Aunt Sally right now. Walk up to them right now. Tell them how you feel. Tell Aunt Sally how you feel about what you did to Aunt Sally.
I feel like I got through half of it, and that's a good start.
Now go get the peanut butter and get the gum out of Aunt Sally's hair right now, Drip. Right now.
I didn't put it in her hair.
Welcome out to the podcast. Drip to the intro.
I got halfway through.
Hashtag put some respect on my name, okay? It's not so easy. Drip said everything. I feel weird. I feel this is weird for me to be on the other side receiving the intro, so I don't know what to say. How you doing, Drip?
Yeah, I think it. Actually, that's what I was supposed to ask you.
You were supposed to ask me how I'm doing.
I didn't make it that far.
No.
You know what? We'll try it again. Maybe I'll try it again next week. Maybe I'll get a little bit further.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will. But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing good. Game awards were fun.
Yeah.
It's been a good week. Man, honestly though, the stream last night was amazing. That was so much fun.
It was a ton of fun.
A blast.
And I'll tell you why it was a ton of fun. Not because of what was on screen necessarily, but because we had our good friends Shibby, John Ebo, and Dudes a Monster on the stream last night. So much fun to have those dudes come in and spend some time with us. Shibby, especially because Shibby was there literally the entire time, and even during the pre-show while we were prepping for the stream, he was there. So Shibby, thank you so much. Thank you to all three of you guys, and thank you to everybody in the chat who was hanging out. It was a ton of fun. As well. We dropped some news last night. We did drop it as well after the stream was over on the community tab on YouTube. We have a brand new logo that we commissioned out, locally made, West Virginia's finest. It was where's the logo? Here's the logo right there. If you're watching this podcast, you can see the logo on screen. If you're listening to this podcast, you'll be able to see it on our community tab in YouTube. It'll also become the main logo for our podcast in January, for January 4th, which is the first episode of season 4. Super excited for that. There's the logo. Thank you guys for sticking around and letting us grow as a podcast and be able to get a logo for ourselves. That's not made by Drip on an iPad or me on a Pixel 4 XL from
big things coming, dude.
2020, whatever, 2020.
Season 4.
2019.
It's going to be crazy.
Season 4 is going to be big things. We got more stuff planned. And speaking of more things planned, we do have more things planned, and it's available right now is the merch store. So make sure you guys head over to our merch store. It's brand new, dripandgeeb.shop. That's dripandgeeb.shop. You can head over there. Excuse me, I had to burp. 2 burps. You can head over there and you can check out our shop tab, our about tab. There's even a new contact tab. So I don't know if there's any inquiries business wise. If you're a graphic designer, want to help us out, or if you just want to say hello, or if you want to submit a question to the podcast, there's a contact tab there too. It goes right to
we
goes
should have
right to
people
my
just send weird stuff to that. Like, hey, here's a random question. Or here's an art challenge.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it open to anybody who wants to send me anything that is legal and appropriate. Key things, legal and appropriate. You can send me. I'm going to leave that open for anyone who wants to send me just about anything. So feel free to go use that. And if you want to just say, and if it's a nice message that I really like, I'm going to read it on the podcast, and we'll do we can make it a thing. But it's open. The merch is there. There's t-shirts. There's a sweater. There's no hoodie, but it's a sweater, which is what I prefer. I like to wear the sweaters without the hoods.
Hoodies coming.
Hoodies are coming eventually, and there is a vinyl decal. And what's the third? Hats. Drip's wearing the Drip hat, but that same hat is going to have our logo on it. So that's going to be really, really cool. Again, the merch is made by West Virginia's finest, Matt Moran. Thank you, Matt. Matt did so much work. Matt helped basically set the website up. I just kind of cleaned it up.
It's good. It looks
Matt
great.
is handling all of the orders. When you're buying merch, you're buying it from Matt Moran. The money goes right to him,
Yes.
and so
Moran.
like Matt Moran is thank you, Matt Moran, publicly for really helping us out here. It's a ton of work he's putting in, and he's not making a big buck off this. It's not doing it because he's making money. None of us are really making money here, and we actually pass a lot of these savings down to you guys, which I sound like an ad when I say that, but I promise you, our prices are cheap because I wanted it cheap. But we could have charged $10 extra per thing if we wanted to. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Anyway, enough about the merch. Let's talk about the Game Awards.
I don't want to talk about the Game Awards.
Okay, fine. Let's not talk about the Game Awards.
No, we could talk about the Game Awards. The Game Awards happened last night. Again, a blast of a stream that we had.
3 awards, Geeb.
Yeah, they had 3 awards.
14 nominations, 3 awards. How do we feel about that?
I got to be honest, Drip. I don't feel that happy regarding what we saw last night, what transpired. Of course, my horse in the race lost. Tears of the Kingdom did not win Game of the Year, which I kind of called. I mean, I still was wanting Tears of the Kingdom to go, but I kind of knew. I said it. I kind of knew that Baldur's Gate was going to take it.
Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. It was seemingly well deserved there, but
they cleaned up.
Nintendo really. I don't want to say let us down because Nintendo didn't let us down. It's not Nintendo's fault.
They're the Game Award. It's like whatever.
I
was expecting a little bit more, but
nobody in particular let me down, but I am let down by the events that transpired last night. If that makes sense, I have no animosity toward anybody. I just feel a little bit sad, if I'm being quite honest, about the fact that Nintendo was underrepresented. Well, they were well represented. They just underachieved at the awards, which again, nobody's fault here. That's how I feel, Drip. How do you feel about it, everything?
I mean, I guess the same. I guess mostly the same. I think, honestly, I'm not really that sad about it. It is what it is. I think the biggest surprise to me, Baldur's Gate was not the surprise. They tore it up. I mean, they killed it. They won just about everything they were nominated for. But Alan Wake 2 won a lot of stuff. Alan Wake 2 was the other one that was there where I was like, I kind of counted them out.
Yeah.
A game that came kind of late. I didn't play it, so I didn't really know a lot about it. I know everyone loved the first one. I didn't really hear a lot about the second one, so that kind of surprised me. I thought that was like the biggest surprise of the evening was Alan Wake 2 getting as much as they got. And then another surprise, Pikmin 4 won something. That was cool.
give us a press a button for Pikmin 4.
I mean, yeah.
I'm the Pikmin 4 streamer, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think we both thought, what was it? It was like strategy or whatever.
Pikmin won Best Sim Strategy Game.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all thought that was. Help me out here.
Not gonna win.
The other Nintendo one.
Oh, Advance Wars.
Yeah, Advance Wars 1 and 2. Yeah, that's what I figured was probably going to win that, which was also a Nintendo game. So, I mean, either way, I think I was just surprised that Pikmin got one.
Yeah.
That was cool. What else? I mean, the Game of the Year thing didn't surprise me. Mario got Best Family Game, which also didn't really surprise me all that much.
No.
I felt like that was
the first thing. I think that was actually the first announcement of the entire night that happened during the pre-show.
It was. Yeah.
When we just turned on the stream, the pre-show's on, and they announced, and I'm like, oh well, they just kind of passed this by, a little bit, just kind of like, oh yeah.
It's so funny, man, because I think I asked like 5 times last night. I was like, hey guys, how long has it been since we've seen him give somebody an award? Like, I don't know, it's been about 30 minutes since anybody's gotten an award.
We played
here.
a few of those little games last night. We played They played that one. We played the how many Switch games are gonna be, or how many games are gonna be available on Nintendo platforms, like with the logo stamp on it, and it says
we went under 5, right? It was under.
I think it pushed. It was at 5.
Oh, was it 5?
It hit 5. Or was it 3?
See, and I don't even know if that counts, because one of those was Fortnite, which is already on the Switch. That
I know.
Even count.
I mean, if you don't count Fortnite, then the over/under was under. But as Alex pointed out in our pre-show here, more than last year. Nintendo was less represented last year.
I don't know why they hate the Game Awards so much. Why do they hate the Game Awards?
They put out a tweet during the Game Awards about 64 games.
Yeah, literally during the pre-show.
Not that would be really something you put in the Game Awards, but why during the awards?
Yeah, why don't you just put it, if you're going to announce it at that time anyway, why not just do something fun and be like, hey, check it out. Look at this. Here it is. It's available now.
You're right. Actually, I want to talk about that for a second because you're actually right about that. They could have done something specifically fun. Like, I wasn't into Nintendo back then, but like during the Reggie days and that era of Nintendo where there was lots of fun little things and bits that they did.
Yeah.
Like what? Bring the bits back. They could have did something really cool, tugging people's nostalgia strings.
Now, man, too damn serious.
Like that would have been really fun if they would have brought like a little bit out, and not big announcements. We all know it's not big, but during the pre-show, we could have had a little puppet action, and Reggie could have made a cameo, and we could have had some fun with a 64 game announcement or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and that I mean, I was really pumped about that when I still haven't played it because I've been playing the new Fortnite stuff.
You're becoming a Fortnite guy. Not like
1080 is on the Switch now. That's cool. They could have totally done that. That would have been way cooler. They just dropped it in a tweet while the Game Awards were going on. It's so weird. I don't know. I mean, they just don't show up. And I mean, I think maybe every year we've been like, oh, this will be the year. This will be the year. I think this year, I think there's an actual reason. And I think it's just because right now they're just kind of in a holding pattern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have anything to do right now. They know, we got Peach coming out. We got what else? What else is an early game next year? Peach is February, right?
I mean, Luigi's Mansion summer, I think, right?
That's summer, but yeah, we didn't have a date
1,000 Year Door. Do we have a date for that?
I don't remember, possibly. But I mean,
there's not
a whole lot. They know what they're doing with the rest of the Switch. Like they're just kind of coasting it out, just riding off into the sunset here, because none of the games. Well, what? 4. We're gonna say 4, and a couple of them don't even count. Of all the announcements last night, 4 of them had a Switch logo on it that said it was going to be on Switch.
And there were a lot of games that we all thought should have had Switch logos on it, but they didn't.
Easily. I mean, yeah, we can talk about some of the other announcements. I mean, the big one at the end, the Monster Hunter thing. What was it called?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
That totally looked like a Switch game.
Like, it looked like I was convinced it was running on Switch hardware based off, because the graphics were so similar. Textures were so similar.
It looked like Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
It looked a lot like it.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. And I mean, you're telling me with the success of Monster Hunter, I know Monster Hunter World was a whole nother thing, but Monster Hunter Rise was huge, and it was just on the Switch for a long time, and it sold like crazy.
I think a lot of us, I think on the panel last night, I'll call it, I think we kind of thought that was like, oh wow, we're not only getting a Switch game here, but we're getting a Switch exclusive announced right now.
Yeah,
at least a temporary one.
It looked like, because when you show something running on what looks like Switch hardware, you imagine it's showing it on this because there's not a better version to show.
Yeah, I don't think it looked bad. I want to clarify. It
didn't look terrible, but it didn't look.
If that was running a PS5 with that frame rate, with those textures, I'd be like, what is happening right now? But on a Switch, I'd be like, this looks fantastic. That's how I felt about it. Yeah, so a little bit weird there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how far we want to get into that yet, but I mean, I think the writing's on the wall with the Switch.
Yeah, that's late. We're finishing the episode with that. We're going to get there in a minute. We do want to talk about the. I'm gonna reiterate here with some of these awards real fast, because, like we said, they won 3 categories, and those categories are Best Family Game, Mario Bros. Wonder, Best Sim Strategy, Pikmin 4, and Best Action Adventure Game Tiers Game. All the games that were Nintendo put out there, the games Nintendo put out there, won, with the exception of Advance Wars, which lost to its own friend Pikmin. So I don't really consider that too much of a loss for Advance Wars. It's a win for Nintendo, so it's good. Right. So they did win all 3 games. Again, not Advance Wars, but all those 3 main games did win awards, which is good. But here's some of the things that I'm going to talk about the ones they lost. Not to get too negative here, but just kind of pointing out what happened last night. So Nintendo was nominated in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other categories with Nintendo games. Best multiplayer game. Mario Bros. Did not win. Baldur's Gate 3 won. Best score and music. Final Fantasy 16 won, not Tears of the Kingdom. Best art direction, Alan Wake 2 won, not Mario Wonder. That one surprised me a lot.
I really thought Mario Wonder would have got that one, but I mean, I understand, I guess. Best
adaptation, we're talking about movies and TV here, turning into movies and TVs from games. The Mario movie did not win. Last of Us, the TV show on HBO won.
I don't have a problem with that at all. That show was awesome. I can't wait till the second season. I can't wait.
I personally didn't enjoy it, and I didn't finish it because I didn't enjoy it. So take it for what it is. I disagree a little bit with Drip. I thought Mario movie had a better chance in my eyes than Last of Us. But obviously Last of Us, a lot of people liked it. I recognize that. It's probably worthy of it. Just not. I didn't personally like it. Best game direction, Tears of the Kingdom did not win. Alan Wake 2 won that category. And
Alan Wake 2 cleaned up, man. They
cleaned
up.
And the last one here, Game of the Year, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Bros, if you thought that was in the running, did not win. Baldur's Gate 3 took it home. So lots of way more lost last night than wins. So as cool as it is that Tears of the Kingdom won Action Adventure, which it clearly should have, and Mario Bros won Best Family Game, which it clearly should have. Some of the other ones weren't as clear, but I still think deserving. And it didn't pull it out tonight and this year, and that's okay. Again, I'm speaking from a fan perspective here. I'm a fan. I acknowledge that. I'm a fan of these games, Nintendo. I want them to win, but I do recognize most of these games, if not all of them, are well deserving to be here. So,
yeah. I mean, like I said, Alan Wake 2. That was the surprise for me. And excuse me.
Yeah, don't yawn.
Something else that we don't even have in our notes here that's crazy to me, and I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but Spider-Man 2 won absolutely nothing.
Yep, exactly nothing, which is a little surprising, but I will say the small chance that it had to not win anything, it came through, and that chance was due to the fact that it came out so late in the year. Just wasn't quite enough time for it to really kind of simmer with people.
I don't agree with that at all. I think you're wrong.
I'm not saying this is not an opinion.
Alan Wake 2 came out after that game.
Well, I'm not saying
it won all kinds of stuff.
I'm not saying it as an opinion. I'm saying it as a fact because it didn't win anything. And why didn't it win? You think it's not good enough?
I mean, I don't think the time it came out is the reason it didn't win. Because, like I said, Alan Wake 2 came out after that.
The only other thing that would be the reason for that is because people didn't like it enough, which I feel like I didn't play it yet, but I feel like the base of what people have told me about it, at least you.
I mean, it's great. I really
it's on
like
the internet.
It.
I know.
I really like it. But I mean, then again, I haven't played Alan Wake 2.
I'm just giving you an excuse, Drew. I'm not trying to
not I'm
giving the game an excuse that it came out too late.
I guess it sucks. I don't know.
Well, that's not the point. The point of the game where it's not to tell you, the fan, what sucks and what doesn't. It's to tell you. It's to give you a chance to voice your opinion and also see what the experts think. So, like I said, I said in the pre-show, I'm going to say it now in the regular show, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to play Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I kind of had in the back of my mind, if it was going to win over Tears of the Kingdom, that I would give it a chance. Now, especially that I have the Steam Deck, I'm going to play it on there. And we're going to see what's up with that game. I don't understand why it won. That's because I haven't played it. So we're going to give it a chance, Drip.
I can't wait to hear about it because I'm definitely not going to play it. Not my kind of game. But
yeah, so we're going to get to the sponsor of today's episode, Drip. Where the sponsor of today's episode is TomToc and their Black Friday sale. I believe, Drip, it's still going on right now.
It is. It's still going on.
Yeah, tell us, Drip. Tell us about TomToc. You've been working with them for a long time now.
I have. We are going to talk about their fancy case. It is a very nice case. It is for your Nintendo Switch. It is slim. It is made from amazing materials. It has a YKK zipper. It's also got little places to protect your sticks, so you don't have to worry about your sticks getting messed up in there. I've been using TomToc cases for 3-4 years. It's literally the only thing I carry my Switch in. I have a TomToc backpack, Switch cases, Steam Deck cases, iPad cases. Literally everything I keep in a case that is electronic is basically in a TomToc case. I love them. I definitely love that we have them as a sponsor because you can definitely get behind this company. Really like their stuff. It's great. And it's on sale right now, Geeb.
It is. You can check that out at their website, tomtoc.com. That is tomtoc.com. You can also check out their Black Friday sales with a link down below in the description. I believe that's on Amazon. As well as you can check out the fancy case on Amazon as well. Both of those links down below. And make sure to register your gear. That link is also down below. And thank you, Tomtoc, for sponsoring today's episode. Drip Media.
What's up? Yo. Hey. Hi.
There's an elf in the room here, Drip. I think there's a big reason. There's a big reason why there was not a lot of Switch logos or Nintendo logos next to these games.
Yeah, yes, there is a big reason why.
I'll give you the floor.
Well, Geeb! No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we're playing a game. Oh, here we go. Drip's like, surprise me with a game? No. Let's go.
Oh, that would be hilarious if I did. No. Dude, listen, it's pretty clear after last night, after watching that, taking a step back, seeing exactly how everything went down last night, it was literally after every single thing, all of us were like, not on Switch. Not on Switch.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was having a great time with it.
Stuff, and it's like, how is that not on Switch? Like, that is like the Goose Game. The people,
oh my God! Can we just take a second for the Goose? Let's pause. Take a second.
The ants, whatever it's called.
It's made by the same people who made the Untitled Goose Game. It's really bizarre. I really question why they did what they did. Because listen, it's not for what you might think it might be. The world looks so realistic. I was like kind of blown away by
it looks really good.
Really good realistic graphics for the world and the environment. And then they went with the decision to make the characters, we'll call them ants for lack of, because we don't know what they are right now. Those ant characters were just literally like, they remind me of Game Builder Garage for Nintendo Switch, like the little circular flat no shadow characters you can build in those games. Like clearly it was a choice, right? There's no way that they just, because we were making the joke that maybe the trailer wasn't ready yet. The games, the assets aren't ready.
Like, throw these in. Yeah, throw those in. They're fine.
They're not ready yet, so we're gonna put out what we got. They spent all their time on the world and environment, but. Oh, seriousness! It was an interesting choice. Oh, Drip, we've had the snowfleks on for the actual episode. I forgot about that. Oh,
no, it's fine. I thought we were leaving one. It's good.
Oh, that's okay. Anyway, it's just an interesting choice that they went with that art style and world and everything, but then like the characters were so lifeless and which would make sense with the comedy that goes with that series, or at least if they're trying to make a series out of it. But the Untitled Goose Game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a completely different game than the Untitled Goose Game, but by the same people. It was weird. It was weird. Anyway, nothing was on the Switch, which is weird. I mean, it's strange, especially at this point where we're at. And I honestly think it's because none of it is going to be on the Switch. And I think actually a lot of the stuff we saw has a good chance to actually be on the Switch too. I think that's why you saw nothing for the Switch. I think even the stuff that looked really good, the third-party stuff, I think a decent amount of that is probably going to be on the Switch too. I think with all the stuff we've heard about, whatever, DLSS, everything's running good, everything looks good, it's way more powerful, it can handle these things. I mean, I don't see why a lot of this stuff wouldn't come. And I think that's why they were like, well, we're not going to put it on Switch because we're not going to deal with doing that port. We're not going to deal with going back and making this thing when we can just do a little bit to it and it'll go with what you're making right now. So we're going to wait till you announce it. Then we can start throwing your logo at the end of the stuff too. Whatever the new Switch logo is.
See, I thought there was no Nintendo logo for a different reason. I thought it was not because it wasn't going to come to Switch ever, and they're not going to put the effort into it. I thought that it's because they know that the Switch 2 is on the horizon, and that's not where they're going to be marketing that game for. They're going to be marketing it for whatever the next console from Nintendo is going to be. So why bother? But I think it's going to. I actually think that these games probably will. I think games are going to, because you're kind of saying, Drip, that a lot of third-party developers are going to completely cut ties with the Switch altogether. And I disagree. I feel like the Switch is going to live on for a couple more years after the next console comes out. No,
it might. I don't think everything's going to come to the Switch though. I think some of those games that I'm talking about, especially the ones like I don't know, let's just say for instance the Jurassic Park game, might be able to get that on Switch too. not on Switch. I mean, I guess you could.
Well, no.
You could if you wanted to, but I mean...
Yeah, I mean, the bigger... That's the whole point of the Switch, too, right? Is to get these titles that can't run on the Switch on the Switch.
Right, and
so
that's
I get
what
that.
I mean.
Some of these bigger titles, if they get a Switch 2 port, sure, and I get why they wouldn't come to the regular Switch because they're the bigger titles. That's the whole point of the thing. But I'm saying, like, some of these games, like Monster Hunter, I mean, I can't imagine that's not going to be a dual release.
That was the weird one. Like,
it's got to be dual release. It had such success in the old console. There's so many Switch units out there. Why would they not? Why would it's coming out in 2025? Presumably, when the Switch 2 is going to be out, right? Why would they not? It's early in the Switch 2's life at that point, right? We're assuming it comes out soon
but
after.
Think about what you're saying,
why would they not put the Monster Hunter Wilds on both systems? Because there are so many consoles they could sell to that might be old, but should be able to handle the game.
Now, think about this. If it was going to be on the Switch, why wouldn't they just say that last night? What reason do they have to be like, oh, no, we're not going to say it's on Switch right now? Like, there's no reason at all for them to be like, nope, we're not going to tell everybody it's on Switch yet, even though we just had a gigantic Switch exclusive for Monster Hunter over there, and it sold like crazy, and it was awesome. Everyone loved it.
I just think I think it's a weird choice, is what I'm saying, is because if the game it may not run the best. Like most current third-party Switch games, they may not run the best, but if they're going to be able to get it to run, there is so much money sitting on the table if they put a port out for it.
Yeah.
The Switch 2, let's not forget, it's not going to have 170 million units on day one. Okay, it's going to take some time for the units to get out there, and if they're only going to put a port out for that Switch 2, they're missing out on a ton of sales for people who already have this original Switch that aren't upgrading immediately. So that's my point.
I do want to touch on this. In the chat, it was announced for 2025.
I know. So
by that point,
well, breaking news
in 2020. Let's just say 2025, holiday-ish. I mean, are we still bringing stuff to the Switch at that point if it comes out next year?
I just want to remind you that 2024 is in exactly 22 days.
I know.
Okay, so it's not 2025 is only 1 year away. Think about that. Okay.
Okay. This time next year, Christmas time next 2024 is only 1 year.
The Switch
2025.
2 is, if the Switch 2 is already out, which we presume it will, it's going to be brand new, and there's not going to be that many units.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't know. Just because it's in 2025 doesn't mean it's coming out January 1st. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
2025 could still be, hell, a holiday game and be still 2 years away.
Don't you agree that it's going to take a couple years for the Switch 2 to really build a significant, player base?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I mean, I think as long as
I mean 2, not like 3 or 4. Like
yeah, well, I mean, as long as
maybe
they don't
1 or 2
do anything
years.
stupid, as long as they don't do anything crazy, like if we get this thing and it's got some awful gimmick that everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then yeah, we're going to be in trouble. But if they stick to like, okay, let's just make a better Switch with some other cool stuff, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I mean, I think it's going to do it faster than the PlayStation 5. It's going to do it faster than the Xbox Series S and X. One, we're not in a parts shortage era right now. We were at that time, and I mean, I think it's gonna actually take off faster than the Switch will, than the Switch did.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
The Switch didn't like. I mean, it was sold out. People wanted it, but I mean, it slowly gained sales and then really, really took off. I think this one's going to be like gone. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to get one. They're going to be sold out everywhere all the time. It's going to go. Everybody's going to, as long as they don't do anything stupid. So I think it's going to take some time, but I don't even think it's going to take as long as the Switch took to get to a significant number.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's going to take as much as the Switch, as long as the Switch took, I think that was a rough transition for Nintendo, but
yeah,
once they sanded it out a little bit, it was smooth sailing. So
yeah, it was done. Yeah, they were good, and it's still rolling to this day.
That's right.
I mean, as long as they don't come out and say, "Here's this thing," and it's got a screen on the back of the kickstand, underneath the kickstand, and that's for your touch finger.
You can now eject your SD card with a touchscreen.
Yeah, like as long as they don't make stupid, like put a screen on the controller. I mean, that's actually
you mean like whatever. A lot of the things we've talked about in the past few episodes over the past 6 months or so, all the dumb things that they could possibly do. Don't do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the writing is on the wall. The Switch 2 obviously is coming. We know it's coming. How quickly we don't. And last night was nothing but a reminder of how much of a dire need there is for another Switch. Not just because we want one because it's going to be nice to play on, because Nintendo is going to have a hard time with third party. It is currently having a hard time with third parties to get games on their system. And last night's Game Awards was showing you how little games are going to be coming in the near future.
Whether
a
these
new
companies,
console is imminent.
Yeah, whether these companies, which I would imagine all these companies have dev kits for the Switch at this point. Yeah. But, it just shows you, we're not putting this on Switch right now. Why would we? Why would we put that effort in right now? We know we got this thing coming. Who knows, man? We could be in, God, what if it's an even worse situation? We didn't even consider this. What if it's the situation where not only are all those games not coming to Switch, they're also not coming to the next thing either? What if they're not?
Well, that would be in the category of Nintendo doing something dumb. And that must mean they did something dumb to where the games are still not going to be able to run. They decided to go with an extra gimmick on top of a gimmick on top of a gimmick instead of...
The controller is actually a glove.
The Nintendo Power Glove 2.
Yes. Yes. Give me that. I'll take that.
My God.
I'd love to have that, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I did expect a little bit more last night from Nintendo, even just being included in some of the third-party announcements. I figured a lot of it was just going to be why wouldn't we do that? But then when you stop and think about it, I guess now, since I'm doing this in real time, thinking about this, it didn't happen last year. And last year would have probably been a better year for third parties to be yeah, man, this thing's got, what was it at then? 110 million or something like that? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. Probably not quite that much. What's it at now? 130 million? 120 million?
Ooh, I can do Google search if you stall.
Okay, either way, even last year they were at an insane amount. And right now, it's clearly the console that is in the most people's homes by a crazy amount, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know where PS5 and Xbox are at this point yet. Not as many people have them. No. Everybody's got a Switch.
It doesn't mean there's not people. That doesn't mean not a lot of people have them. That just means that not as many. And the answer is 132 million.
Yeah,
units.
132 million, and that's multiple in homes. You would think even last year, maybe they weren't there, but even last year you would think, okay, easy money, port it to the Switch. Easy money, port it to the Switch, and it didn't happen last year either. So now that I think about it, why would it happen this year? Especially if they know, we've got this dev kit. We're working on a version of it for this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I got nothing really, Drip. I got nothing. Where do you want to take this?
That's really it. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because I think at this point, watching last night, we can see, there ain't shit for Nintendo going on. They got nothing going on. Absolutely nothing.
No, there is not even a game I'm looking forward to right now, besides maybe Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Maybe I'm looking forward to that because I haven't played it before. But besides that, and that hardly counts. It's a third. Yeah,
it's a freaking remake.
It's a remake, man. It's still gonna be fun to play. Don't get me wrong, especially for you people who are a little nostalgic about it. But for me, it's new to me. But at the same time,
all remakes.
It's not
in
that
one
exciting.
Peach game. We got all remakes in one Peach game.
I'm not getting Peach. I'm not getting it.
Peach. I'm not getting it for me.
You're getting, yeah.
You know damn well my kids are going to want to play the hell out of that.
Yeah.
They're going to love that. I'll have it. But
Luigi's Mansion 2 is going to be cool, but I haven't even finished 3 yet.
Remake.
I got to finish 3. I'm looking forward to RPG, which I recently was able to pick up thanks to Megaboyd, and I'm doing some work for him. Yeah. But I'm not it's not ooh RPG, ooh Thousand Year Door. It's like Mario Wonder was the game I was ooh about, but it's come and gone now. It's
done,
over
man.
now. It's not. That's not
only question.
It's not a 100-hour campaign like Tears of the Kingdom was. It's quick and it's over with now. So it's
the only question now is how how long are they going to drag this out after Christmas, after the holiday season? How long are they going to drag this out?
Please, for the sake of this podcast and my sanity, that soon in season 4, soon in season 4, we get some announcement.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like if they really honestly wait for the announcement of this thing till mid-year, like May or June,
we're gonna pivot on the podcast and we're gonna become a gaming podcast. We're talking about PlayStation and Xbox. I swear to God, because like we can't do this for 8 more months. We can't do this, Rib. I'm sorry. We have to keep. We gotta talk about more things.
You know, it's like they're not doing anything, and it's funny now because it's like we've been talking like, oh my God, they absolutely have to do it soon. They have to do it soon. We've been saying they have to do it soon for years.
Yeah,
it's crazy at this point. Like. It's really like, okay, I get you have a plan, what you're doing and this and that, but like every day they don't show that they can keep up. They're one step behind everybody else and just getting further and further back.
And maybe the Switch 2 comes out, it's a release, or at least announced, and it blows our minds. And it's like, wow, the wait was worth it.
People got dev kits too, so I mean, they know what this thing's about. You know what I mean? These companies that are working on games, they know what it's about. The dev kits are out there.
God forbid that this thing doesn't play games at least as good as a PS4 does, because I'm saying that's the bare minimum. Like, God forbid this thing is a very similar performing console that just barely squeaks up performance enough for these third-party games that we want. God forbid, because I don't. This podcast might die, Drip. or either dies or becomes the PlayStation Portal podcast.
No, man, there's still all kinds of Nintendo stuff.
Like, well, I mean, I'm just joking, guys. But this podcast ain't going nowhere as far as I'm concerned. But I need stuff to talk about. I'm tired of talking about nothing.
Yeah, man, I really like. I can't wait until they just announce it. Like, there's gonna be so much to talk about. Like I was talking about last night. I got 50 videos ready. Like as soon as they tell me what it is, I could make 100 videos on it.
Caesar Brain Dead with a good little thing before we wrap it up here. Caesar says GTA 6 on Switch 2. I feel like if Call of Duty is able to run on Switch 2, we're gonna have GTA. I think that's gonna be a pretty given. I mean that's probably a market they're licking their chops in to get inside, because man, what they couldn't do it for the Wii U because God, that sucked, and the Switch is so good, but they couldn't get on there because of the performance. So I feel like with the Switch 2, GTA and Nintendo probably have a mutual interest in getting that game out there. So I think that's possible.
Yeah, and I mean, Rockstar's they just put
Red Dead.
They just put Red Dead on, and they just did all the. I mean, they did all the other GTAs. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Should be on Switch too. Yeah. I don't see why not. Everything's gonna be on Switch too. All they gotta do is tell us about it. That's all they gotta do. Just tell us. Just tell us when it's coming. That's it.
Guys, we want to reiterate, new logo coming. Thank you guys for sticking around the podcast. We're able to do that. Merch store. If you want to pick something up, we'd really appreciate it. Drip and I are going to have our merch soon. We hope to have it by now, but it didn't work out that way. But we're going to be wearing our merch in the podcast. We gave out a hat last night on Drip Stream. Joe the Toe, congratulations. You won a hat last night. He's going to get his hands on one once it's available. We're going to give out a shirt at some point, I think, by the beginning of Season 4. I think on the episode 1 of Season 4, the shirt will be given out live on the podcast. Make sure to tune in for that. So that's something to look forward to as well. To be determined how you enter. We'll let you know when those details arise, but it'll be given out in January there. And and just check out the merch store in general. It's a little funny. It's gonna become more than a merch store soon. It's gonna become like our full website. And speaking of that, you can leave a submission there. If you look at the what tab is that? I'm gonna look at it real fast. Bada-bee-da-boo. That tab is called the Contact tab. If you want to click on the Contact tab on our website, you can leave your name and your email. You gotta post your email because you basically send me an email and leave a message or something. I don't know if you want. Again, like I said in the pre-show. Nothing illegal and everything must be appropriate. But besides that, you can send me whatever that you want. I don't care if it's like a happy go love story, if it's we love the podcast, it's I hate the podcast, whatever you want to send. It goes right to me. I get to see that stuff, and if I like what I read, I'm gonna read it on the podcast. We can make it a little section of the show where we read listeners' mail. That's a thing that happens on lots of shows, and it's gonna happen here hopefully. So again, the contact page dripandgeeb.shop. Make sure to head over there for that. And the links will be down in the description as they always are. Drip. Mm-hmm. What a time we live in. Waiting for. I'm so thankful for the Steam Deck because it gives me something to like be happy about right now in gaming because Nintendo's not doing it for me right now.
They'll be back. It's gonna be fine.
Back and hopefully back strong. And speaking of being strong, we're out of here. If you guys are in the stream, we'll see you in the after show. Make sure to stick around. But for the rest of you guys on the audio side of things, we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.